Hi, and welcome back again to Melissa's Kitchen. I, of course, am your host, Melissa, and today we are working on part 2 of our lasagna series. Today we're going to do meat and the sauce. So what I have here, I've got my second camera set up. Again, it's going to be a little dizzying, hopefully not too bad. But I'm using my KitchenAid again, and this time I have my meat grinder attachment. This is a fairly recent gift to me, and I haven't used it yet, so hopefully it works pretty well, as I think it should. So what I have, I will start with a regular, a little over about 2.5, between 2 and 2.5 pounds of a chuck roast. Usually when I am using ground meat, if I buy it already ground, it will be an 80-20 chuck mix because I like to have a little bit more fat because of the flavor. Usually when I buy a store packaged ground beef, I will cut it, I use it as it is and ground it and drain off some of the fat. Now I won't drain off all of the fat. I try to leave some in there and emulsify it with some of the spices to blend it in with the sauce if I'm making a bolognese. Today I'm just going to brown the meat for a lasagna that we'll make later on tonight. If you saw my pasta show yesterday, then you already have your pasta set if you followed along or if you attempted to make the pasta yourself. So I'm going to try not to hit my overhead camera, which is right here, because it's really actually close to my head. See? So what I'm going to do is cut this up into good chunks, and I'll toss it right into the grinder and see how that goes. Now I'm going to trim away some of this fat, but not all of it. Because like I said, I want to get some of that delicious flavor from the meat. This is a really big chunk, so I'm just going to cut this piece of fat away. And I'll just boil that up later and have a little treat for the dog. So now when I'm making a lasagna or a bolognese, I also like to mix in a little pork. So I've got some, or sausage, I have some already ready to go sausage. I'm just going to throw it in there with some of the meat just to give it a little bit of a more Italian flavor. So we'll just chop this into chunks. Try not to hit my head too bad on the top part. So this is really the easy part. Grinder's really good. It will take up a lot of the ease of making this into ground meat. This attachment is really good if you have a KitchenAid. You can grind all kinds of things in it. Not just meat, you can grind nuts and fruits and different things like that. It's got a fine blade and it's got a coarse blade. I'm using the coarse blade. So I'll go ahead and put my little pecker bowl. And if you do have a KitchenAid, you want to use this on the highest setting. So sorry about the noise. Really small. There we go. Yeah, little bits coming out. Very deep, look at that. We have a little pusher. Got about two letters. This thing with my attachment. You push it right down, meat, and all that. Like I said, the pork's already brown, so I'm just throwing bits of the beginning of the pork that was seasoned with the butter. See if the hands will get dirty. You see the pork coming out now. That's really good for ground beef. Super easy. It will be really good. Of course, I'm making a mess again because I wouldn't have it any other way. Pork's getting a little stuck up in there. Just left the beef in up here. Got great ground beef, keep some pork, keep some spices in there, coming out of the pork. And then maybe you don't want to put the pork through here because it's making a little bit of a log up here. But it's still coming out and it's still nicely brown. Don't forget to throw your meat and pork all over, the beef and pork all over. Because I am in a shop. We are about to good with pork. So there we have our ground beef with some pork added. Give it a little bit more flavor. We keep the fat to keep the flavor of the ground beef. And now we will move on to the sauce. Now what I will do later, while this sauce is going, because it's going to have a long time to simmer, I will brown the beef and the pork in a large pan with some onion and minced garlic. I will also be using onion and minced garlic in my spaghetti sauce, which I will get to now, as soon as I wash my hands. So please forgive me for a moment while I wash my hands. And I will have to move my camera. This part, I think I will only be using the single camera because I don't really have anywhere to put the second camera. And again, I am alone and do not have a second camera or any assistance. So we'll get to the spaghetti sauce right here. Now, let's see if I can get this on. Maybe in the sauce, maybe not. I have an idea. Maybe I can take this down and use it by hand. There's somewhere I can, not really anywhere I can put this. So I will try to hold it. All right, so basically I'm going to turn this on. This is my pot. You can see into, it's a very big pot because I'm going to cook a lot of sauce. So I'm going to see if I can attempt to remove the little stand that this is on. And see if we can do it this way. So I have my pot. It's on. We'll put some olive oil, extra virgin olive oil in the bottom. Let it heat a bit more. This is interesting. One-handed cooking. But where's that? There it is. One Vidalia onion, medium-sized, chopped up. Put that in. Minced garlic, which I tend to keep handy, ready to go in a jar. It's finely minced because I use garlic so much. I don't know if that's the Italian in my upbringing, but like I've said before, use about half the garlic as you use onion. Let that start to settle down. Maybe I don't even need that camera at all since my back is completely towards it. Turn down the stove a little bit to get it done. And get these onions nice and tender. Or at least starting to before I add the rest of the ingredients. Now normally when I make a homemade sauce, I will use Roma tomatoes, fresh, blanch them, peel the skin, and use them fresh. But I don't have an entire 24 hours or so cooked spaghetti sauce, so I'm taking a bit of a shortcut and using canned. which aren't quite as fresh, but still makes a really good homemade sauce. So you have your onions starting to go. They've let out a lot of their flavor as well as the garlic. They're still, oh, this camera's just a pain in my butt. Just starting to get a little translucent. So I'm going to add my other ingredients. If I can just hold my camera fine, I'd be all right. I'm going to be using, I'm going to turn this down so it doesn't start spitting. I have 2 large cans of crushed tomatoes. 3 smaller cans of petite tomatoes, diced. Throw those in. Now this is going to need quite a bit of simmering to get them. See the onions coming through, and they'll cook in with the rest of the sauce. But I think it'll go away. Now, I have my spices. Kind of a shortcut. Some good Italian seasoning is a good way to start. And I've got a big pot going, so I'm going to put a lot of this in. I'm not big on a really sweet spaghetti sauce. I like my spaghetti sauce more savory. So you're just going to taste it as you go. If you like it sweeter, put a little less in. If you like it more savory, put a little more in. Now I also have basil, sweet basil, which there's some sweet basil already in the Italian seasoning, but I add a little bit more just because it tastes really good. I'll add a little bit of crushed red pepper flakes. I have a little bit of ground red pepper, just to give a little bit of, it'll take a little bit of the sweetness away. And I also like a little bit of smoked paprika in my spaghetti sauce. Like I said before, I really like paprika a lot, so maybe put a little bit more in. Now I can't use my salt and pepper shaker, but momentarily I will be adding salt and pepper. And of course, parsley. Parsley is good on or in just about anything. Now I'm going to give this a stir, one-handed like. And this is going to be simmering for 2 to 3 hours. It's not simmering yet, so we'll turn it back up just a little bit until it starts going. Not the best camera setup today, folks, so I apologize about that. But we have a sauce going. It's very nice. Now what happens after a couple of hours, you can see all of the spices in there, mixed in nicely. You taste it as you go. If it needs a little bit more of something, add it as you go. Don't overdo it at first, just add it to the perfect amount for you. So now what I will do with my sauce, I will let it simmer for 2 to 3 hours. If it's thin, I will add tomato paste. Just scoop in as much as you need. I personally like a smooth sauce, not a really chunky sauce. But some people prefer their sauce a little bit more chunky. So what I might do after the spaghetti is cooked, I might take half of it and put it in the blender and make it nice and smooth, and then put that back in with the rest, and so it's kind of like a half and half. And what I'll do with this sauce later is use it and the ground meat that we just ground, and the lasagna noodles that I made yesterday, and we are going to make a lasagna. So it's 2 o'clock now, another maybe 5, 6 p.m. our time, we will get back together and put that lasagna together. So if you have everything you need, join me, and we will definitely be eating well tonight. Thank you, and I will see you later.